What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me?
What's going on, people? It is Christopher here, back in the building with the Super Bowl 55 preview. And yes, we are at that stage of the season where one game left, and that will determine who will win it all in this epic 55th season in the Super Bowl era. And by the way, if you're wondering who is playing that game, it is an epic matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Where is it being played? At Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, which is arguably a home advantage for all you Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans, but can they make it pay? Well, guys, tune in to my Super Bowl preview and see if my predictions will favour the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with home advantage, or will they favour the defending Super Bowl champions. So as I mentioned, I'm going to give a bit of background and a bit of context to the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl is basically the NFL's championship game to decide who is the league's champion for the year out of all the teams that are playing in each conference. And bear in mind that the NFL is split into two conferences, the AFC, which is represented by the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending champions, and the NFC, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However, the game will be live on CBS in the USA because this is the Olympic year. So as a result, NBC I believe, aren't allowed to host the Olympics and the Super Bowl in the same year. But remember, guys, do not quote me on that figure. So any Americans that are watching this video, please do feel to correct me if I so happen to be incorrect. However, CBS are broadcasting the game as I mentioned, but in the United Kingdom, the game is available on Sky Sports and BBC One with kickoff at 11:30 Greenwich Mean Time, also known as UK time, and 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific time. So you guys can tune in however you want. The halftime show, which is often a staple of the last few Super Bowls, will be played by none other than the Canadian award-winning rapper The Weeknd, who happens to be one of my favourite rappers. More on that on another day's show. But the question is, who will be crowned this year's champion of Super Bowl 55, and who will take home the Vince Lombardi Trophy, which is the official name of the Super Bowl trophy, named after the legendary Green Bay Packers coach Vince Lombardi, and he helped them win the first two back in those days when they were called NFL titles, but they are now known as the first two Super Bowls. But let's get into my preview. Okie dokie, so before I get into my predictions and where the key battles of tonight's game will be, I'm going to fire you guys some interesting and key statistics, because will it be home sweet home for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Because this is the first time in the 55 years of the Super Bowl's history that a home team will make it to the Super Bowl. Because the thing is, in the odd number Super Bowls, the NFC teams always get the supposed home advantage. By that, they're allowed to host the Super Bowl, they get the home dressing rooms, etc., etc. You get the idea, but that's a story for another day. But the Buccaneers, they're back at Raymond James Stadium, so whether that will be a blessing in disguise for them, I don't know. However, on the flip side, you have Patrick Mahomes going for his second career Super Bowl, which is the third in the Kansas City Chiefs history, but he'll be aiming to go back-to-back for the Kansas City Chiefs, and potentially the Chiefs could be the first team since, well, guess who? Tom Brady, to go back-to-back and win two consecutive Super Bowls for the first time since Super Bowl 39, which was won against the Patriots beat the Philadelphia Eagles 2017 in Super Bowl 39, I should be saying, in Jacksonville. So not far off from Tampa Bay. However, it's still in Florida and we are at a different stadium. And on another note, and excuse me a minute, that this is Tom Brady's 10th career Super Bowl. So he does love a good Super Bowl, Tom Brady, but can he make it pay? And will he enter the 7th Heaven Club, and collect his 7th Super Bowl in his illustrious career and his first as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer? We'll have to wait and see after tonight. However, the Buccaneers are also one of the 2 NFC teams that are yet to lose a Super Bowl and have taken part in one. So, sorry, Detroit Lions fans, but you don't make the equation, even though you guys have never lost a Super Bowl. But you got to be in it to win it, whether you like it or not. But much like their division rivals, the Buccaneers have never lost a Super Bowl themselves, with their first victory being Super Bowl 37 against the now Las Vegas Raiders. However, they have to put their record, well, undefeated record, on the line against a very red-hot Kansas City Chiefs. And can they do it? I don't know, but you'll find out if I predict a Buccaneers win or a Chiefs win at the end of this video. So after posting a very respectable 14-2 record, the Chiefs managed to come out in 2 massive victories against the Cleveland Browns in the AFC divisional round as the AFC's top seed and the league's best record, 22-17, and they managed to topple the Bills 38-24 in the AFC Championship game. However, the Buccaneers, they did have to fight for their place in this year's playoffs and the Super Bowl. However, they came out with very impressive wins, 31-23 over Washington, although you might think I'm being a bit disrespectful to the Buccaneers. However, the Buccaneers, they did let Washington into it, and Washington did play well under their quarterback, Taylor Henke, at the time. However, they didn't do enough to win the game, but they beat the Saints in New Orleans to come through and take on the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, the Buccaneers won 30-20 in the NFC divisional round game against the New Orleans Saints. But they came out 31-26 winners against the Packers, despite slowly but surely letting them back into the game. However, they put an average, well, both teams put up an average of 30 and just over 30 points respectively across their playoff games, so it should be an epic shootout. However, this Super Bowl will be won, in my opinion, on 3 key matchups. And I'm going to start off with the most important one because it's an age-old question of youth versus experience, because Mahomes is statistically the best quarterback in terms of passing yards per game, but you've arguably got one of the greatest quarterbacks to play the game's history, well, in the game's history, in the form of Tom Brady with 10 Super Bowls, as I mentioned. Ooh, that's a good matchup. But it begs the question, who will come out on top between the 2 of them? Because bear in mind that in their only playoff matchup to date so far, Brady managed to best Mahomes 37-31 in the 2019 AFC Championship game, which so happened to be Brady's last season where he won a Super Bowl, which was that embarrassing. Well, I wouldn't say embarrassing, that's a bit extreme and a bit excessive, but the very low scoring 13-3 game against the Los Angeles Rams. However, I think for me, youth nudges ahead on that encounter, dare I say it, but I could be giving a few hints as to who I think will win the game. Next up, we've got Tyrann Mathieu versus Mike Evans, because Mathieu, well, need I say more about him? In fact, I should, but Tyrann Mathieu is pretty much the cornerstone of this epic Kansas City Chiefs secondary team against Mike Evans, who's led the show for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their receiving corps, even though the Buccaneers, we all know, they had the former Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown. They've had Rob Gronkowski, which is, we all know, as Tom Brady's best mate. However, I think even though if Mike Evans can get the better of Mathieu in this game, then I think it could very much swing in Tampa Bay's favour in his ability to make plays. However, if Mathieu and the secondary can keep Brady quiet, and Mike Evans for that matter, all night long, then it could play into the Chiefs' hands. And last but not least, this final matchup hinges on the Kansas City Chiefs D-line against Tom Brady's ability to handle the blitz, because Brady's ability against the blitz this season has been average, to say the least, and he's posted a quarterback rating of less than 90 this season. So if the Chiefs' defensive line can get the better of Tom Brady, because bear in mind that in most notably Super Bowl 42, Brady struggled against the blitz and pressure all night long. So if the Chiefs can replicate what the Giants did in Super Bowl 42, then they stand a chance. But on that note, guys, now it's time for the all-important Super Bowl prediction. And my prediction for this game will be Kansas City Chiefs 33, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 30. So if I haven't given enough clues already, I just gave you guys the definitive answer that I think the Chiefs will go back-to-back and win their third Super Bowl in the franchise history. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to check out my NFC Championship game predictions, then the video is right here. As always, guys, make sure you guys just check in on your friends and your family from time to time. Sorry I sound a little bit ill when I'm filming this video, but don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel right here. And until next time, guys, peace out.